What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with my MMA news, and today's guest will be fighting Jalin Turner at UFC 272 on March 5th. I'm pleased to be joined by Jamie Mullarkey here today. Jamie, thanks for being here, man. I know you're currently driving out there in Australia. We have two completely different worlds we're in. I think you're like 16 hours ahead of what I am. Thanks for being accommodating and doing this interview. I really appreciate the time.
No worries, man. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, no problem at all. And at the time of recording this, I know you were just starting to wrap things up with fight camp. You're getting ready to travel to Vegas. So we'll start with training camp here. Just how did camp go as you now start to wrap things up and get ready for fight night here?
Yeah, it's been a really good camp, man. We're just wrapped up today, so I'm just leaving the south coast from Freestyle Fight Gym. Headed back home, and yeah, camp's been unreal. It's couldn't have gone any better, really. Just high level and ready to go.
And now that you have to travel over here to the United States, what's kind of like fight week exactly like for you? Like when exactly do you get on the plane and fly out and start getting ready for fight night then?
So I pretty much arrived to the US a week before the fight, so it's good, man. It gives me a lot of time to settle in and get over the jet lag and get focused, adjust to the time. The good thing about Las Vegas for Australia is the time difference isn't really that much different. We're like 6 hours apart, but we're a day in front. So I don't have to really adjust to a massive time difference, which is always good.
So when you're out in Vegas, then do you utilize the PI, and what's kind of that like too? I know all the fighters I've talked to that have utilized it have had nothing but good things to say about the PI and how great of a state of the art institute that is.
Yeah, man, the PI is unreal. It's really like the next level of like just an awesome facility. Just it's really good that the UFC have that for all the fighters to be able to go and train, not just like in pads in a car park or in a hotel room or something. So no, it's unbelievable.
So now tell us about Jalen a little bit as an opponent and what you've seen out of him as you've now been preparing for him for a few weeks.
Yeah, Jalen's a solid opponent, man. It's like another little step up in competition. He's had some good wins. He's coming off a few finishes, and I am too myself. Um, so there's like every fighter, he brings different problems to the table, and we've got our tricks to work in and get around them. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It should be a really good fight, and I'm confident. I'm very confident coming into this one.
Obviously, I know you talked there about how he's a great opponent and whatnot, but what's it going to take to get a victory here on Fight Night? I know you don't want to give away your exact game plan or anything like that, but what are some of the things you could tell us that's going to take to get a win here?
Well, it's like yeah, I'm just ready to fight. Like obviously, we're not going to go into what I'm going to be doing, but um, I believe in my preparation, man. I've really believed in my preparation. I've done everything in my power to take away this victory, so I'm sure he has too. So it's going to be one of those ones of I think it's going to honestly come down to who wants it more because we're both high skill level. We're both pretty experienced. Um, I believe I'm a little bit more battle tested than he is, just a little bit, but just in the caliber of opponents that we've fought and the ones that we've lost to. So I think it's going to come down to a nitty gritty war, and it's going to come down to who wants it more. And I'm telling you right now that I'm going to take it.
And one thing that's crazy to think with him, right, is that he is obsessed with spiders and he's always posting things with tarantulas. I was just wondering if you're spooked out by that type of stuff. 'Cause I know it's hard for some people to watch the videos that he posts with all different spiders and everything else. But I know, obviously, being from Australia, they say Australia is home to some of the deadliest animals on the planet. So just seeing like tarantulas and stuff like that spook you out at all?
Nah, man, nah, that's right up my alley. Nah, I think it's pretty cool, but I haven't really seen too much. I've seen him bring a tarantula to the weigh-ins once, but yeah, fuck if he brings one of the weigh-ins, maybe he can let me hold it or something. maybe it'll bite me. Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe it'll bite me. Maybe that's not such a good idea.
Well, I was gonna ask, have you ever like held a tarantula or anything like that? I've never even come close. I'm a little freaked out. I don't mind looking at them in a cage or that, but I've never actually touched one or anything like that.
Nah, I've held snakes and held like an eagle, which like it was not out in the wild, but I've held snakes in the wild. I've caught snakes and stuff, but nah, never a tarantula. That's a new one for me.
Well, maybe it'll happen on the day of the weigh-ins there. Maybe we can make that happen. Hopefully, Jalin will see this and he'll bring a tarantula to the weigh-ins for you there. But I did want to actually ask you a little bit about, obviously I know you're Australian, but I've seen on your Instagram you kind of have the Irish flag there. You wear t-shirts that represent Ireland. What's kind of the connection that you have with Ireland?
My parents are both from Ireland, so I've got a lot of family, and my bloodline is all from there. Big following in Ireland, so I'm very proud of my Irish heritage, and I wear both flags on my sleeve when I'm out there fighting.
Have you ever been to Ireland to visit? I know you said you have family out there and whatnot. Have you ever got to experience any of the Irish things out there?
Yeah, and I've been back. I almost even call it home, but I've been back there about 4 times, and yeah, I can't wait to get back out there again. I love it. I feel like it is really a second home.
Now, do you know Casey O'Neill? Because I interviewed her before. I think she was maybe 1-0 in the UFC at the time, and she had a pretty kind of similar story to you, where she actually grew up in Scotland. I know over obviously close to Ireland there, and then she had moved over to Australia. I was just wondering maybe if you guys ever crossed paths and talked. You kind of have similar backgrounds with you having Irish roots, and then obviously growing up in Australia.
Yeah, I've met Casey. We fought on, I think the last card we both fought on together. Not her last fight, but the fight before that when she fought Shevchenko. And yeah, she's a solid force in the UFC. And we're all us Australian fighters. We're all starting to make waves, and the Kiwis obviously do. We're starting to show that we can crack, we can fight. So it's exciting times for Australia and New Zealand MMA.
Yeah, actually, great transition here. So this is exactly what I wanted to actually ask you about was just this takeoff with Australia here. And one of the things crazy to think about, I feel like a lot of the fans would probably think when it comes to Australia all about just city kickboxing with the success of Volkanovski and Adesanya, but that's not obviously the case. Like you train over at Central Coast MMA, and there's a few other gyms out there. What is it that's going on over there in Australia that we're starting to see just like, I mean, really a hotbed, not only in just one location, Australia, but the whole entire country over there is really starting to become a huge hotbed in the sport and producing a lot of high-level talent.
Yeah, I think that it's just that the sport's growing so fast over here, and obviously with so many young athletes getting into the sport from a young age, everyone's growing and getting all the disciplines in, like from the start. You know what I mean? It's not like we got heaps of boxers like turning into MMA fighters or wrestlers turning into. It's like everyone's starting with the full package of mixed martial arts in the sport, and we got ticker, mate. We're us Aussies. We got ticker. We like to get in there and get nitty gritty. So it's never going to be an easy fight with one of us.
And I did see on your Instagram that you and Alexander Volkanovski have done a little bit of work together. You and some photos together. I just wanted to know, like, a lot of times over here in the United States, per se, there's a lot of rivalries over here. But it seems like Australia, you guys are pretty tight. Even though you guys don't train at the same gym, it seems like you guys all kind of come together and support one another, where we necessarily don't have that over here. Is that an accurate assessment that you guys are all pretty cool over there? You're all friendly and all root for each other with the Australian roots there?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that we all support each other, and we rally against, like, behind each other. Don't get me wrong, if ever the time comes where we have to fight, like, then it's a different story. But for Australia and New Zealand, we've always been like that sort of, if you're not standing across the cage from me, I'm going to be rooting for you because, we're from the same sort of area, and yeah, it's good. It's a good like sort of camaraderie that we all have.
All right, Jamie, I have one last thing for you now before we wrap things up here. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the main event of the evening on the card that you're fighting on at UFC 272. Of course, a lot of bad blood between Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. The UFC's been hyping up all the bad blood between them. A lot of the fans are excited to see this matchup just because of all the tension there. Being that you were on the same card as them, I just want to get your thoughts. I don't know if you have a prediction or not, but just kind of give us a breakdown of how you think this main event is going to go down on March 5th.
Yeah, well, I personally think that on paper you got to go with Colby, but I'm going to go against the odds because obviously he's the favourite. But I'm going against the odds for this reason because they train together, and I've heard and like sort of seen of many sources that Masvidal was like sort of his big brother, like he big brothered him, and I don't think he's gonna like get out of that. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I think that Masvidal has the sort of skill set to beat him. He's got incredible takedown defense on the wall, and a motivated Masvidal is obviously a dangerous guy. So he's fucking motivated for this fight. So I think he's gonna come in and shock a lot of people. So that's my prediction. I'll probably predict maybe even a fourth round TKO.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to seeing that fight there, and obviously looking forward to seeing yours as well. Good luck with everything there. One last thing before you roll out, though. Go ahead, plug your social media so people know where to find you at. Also, if you have any management, sponsors, coaches, teammates you want to give a shout out to, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, Jamie Mullarkey, follow on Instagram and Twitter, and a big thanks to MTK MMA, MTK Global, my management, and all my sponsors, Central Coast MMA, Freestyle MMA. We're going in hard and we're going to get it. Let's go.
All right, Jamie, thanks so much for all the time here today. Really appreciate it. And to all the fans that are out there watching this, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you like today's interview, please go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And also mymmanews.com. Great content comes out there all 7 days of the week. Keep going there. Also go to our social media pages. Give us a like and a follow on there as well. We'll see you later, everybody.